Alright, what is up everybody? Coming back at you with another knife review on the channel today. And we have got another unboxing and first review here for you on a new to me company. This is a Divo Knives knife. Now, you all may or may not be familiar with Kevin from Lefty EDC, a fellow YouTuber, much bigger channel, fairly popular channel. He designed this knife with his partner Colin. They had it OEM'd through QSP, and here they are. He did a pre-order. This knife's been out for 6 or 7 months. He did the pre-order. First ones came in, but these finally hit the stores. I got this on White Mountain Knives. They do a lot of smaller knives like that, like smaller companies, kind of boutique brands. They'll do a little bit more of, it seems. But I saw this when I was able to snag it. They sold out in a couple hours. So obviously a pretty popular knife. So let's get right into it, guys. The box, pretty sterile, except for the Divo Knives logo there. Get into it, you get this nice, I don't know if it's real leather, but nice leather looking pouch. You get a full size microfiber in white. Very cool, very cool. Let's move along here. Now, you get a lot of extras. Let's get into the knife first. Now, this sticker does come with it. Super cool sticker. Here is the knife. It comes in this bag. And these are all the extras. We'll get into this here in a little bit. But let's talk about the knife first. Now let's take a good look here. This is the aluminum infused carbon fiber scales. Pretty cool looking. QSP is doing these on a lot of their stuff too. It also comes in micarta, and you can get copper infused, which is, the copper color with the black, which is probably my favorite version. I also like the completely black washed out with black micarta. That's a good looking knife too. But here it is. Now this blade is what he calls a sheep's poon. I'm not making that up. That's real. Sheep's foot with a harpoon on it, aka a sheep's poon. A lot of people think it looks like kind of like a bird's beak or a bird's head, something like that. I was thinking maybe like raptor talon or claw, something like that, whatever you call it. But anyways, let's get into what you get here. Now this knife comes in 20 CV. I'm a big 20 CV fan, probably one of my favorite steels. I never have any rust issues with 20 CV personally. Great edge retention. You get a full titanium bolster lock. So these are full titanium. You do get the lock bar insert. I do believe it is all titanium hardware. And it is completely T8. Pivot T8. I'll show you guys there. T8. These scale screws T8. Even the steel lock bar insert T8. T8 on the clip screws. So every screw on this knife is a T8, and I am all for that. Let's all get together and ban T6, guys. And on the other side, you get your nice Divo Knives logo. It comes with a sterile pivot, but I really like this Divo Knives logo on there. It gives it a little bit extra, in my opinion. Get the wire pocket clip. Now, a lot of people hate on the wire pocket clip, and I don't get it. A lot of people say maybe it looks cheap, or it is cheap. It functions very, very well. Very deep carry here, so you get a tiny bit sticking out of the pocket. But if you absolutely hate the wire clips, the Lynch Northwest Spyderco wire clip replacement clip fits. RGT also makes a solid titanium clip that's not deep carry, but I think would look better. I don't know if that fits. I might order one to try it. Now, with the titanium bolsters, again, aluminum infused carbon fiber scales. Now, the blade finish, just a pretty basic stone wash there, nothing too special. As well as the titanium, looks like kind of a bead blast finish there. Full titanium backspacer, nice and rounded off there. He does sell a Zircuti backspacer on divoknives.com for like $35 or $40. It's actually a really good deal. I might end up picking one of those up. He did also sell some fat carbon scales. They're sold out now, but if those come back in stock, I might grab a set. I'd like to get a black wash version of this and then do the fat carbon scales. That would be cool. Now, let's get down to the main points here. This action, guys. Oh, man, it is good. Now, one thing I'll give QSP, I've had a couple QSP OEM knives. The other one I currently have is the EMP EDC Nimble X. I had some bad experiences with this knife, but I think it was more so the customer service aspect. You know, it's mainly with that coating coming off. Then my bearings, one of the ball bearings was missing out of my bearings, and I couldn't get it centered. I eventually was able to source an aftermarket pivot washer and was able to get it centered. But anyways, the action on that knife is fantastic, and the action on this knife is fantastic. Now, this is a deployment hole only knife. This is the only way to deploy it. By reverse flick, obviously, is what it was designed for. You can also thumb flick it. And as a lefty, you know, lefty EDC obviously is a lefty. I am also a lefty. With a bolster lock, you can get on the knife there and reverse flick with no issues. Now, I am a reverse flicker through and through. It's my favorite way to deploy the knife. Nowadays, that's about the only knives I buy. I did just buy this Harsey, but that's kind of like a hard use thing. It's a little different. But yes, to fidget with, it is absolutely a fidgeter. This action is next level. And here's the thing with this action. You see how good it is. Drops. Let me set it flat here. This is the true test. Not many knives do this. Boom. You pull it up to 90, drops. Almost all the way up to like right here. And even there, you lean it, drops. Now, Kevin is kind of known as a detent diva. That's what I've said before, and it's pretty true. He'd probably admit that himself. He's a bit of a detent diva, always complaining about detents. Now, with that being said, how is the detent on this knife? Well, I've got to say, Kevin, it's perfect. They nailed the detent. I'm sure he was extra anal about having a solid detent. Otherwise, he might have got roasted. But no, it's perfect. For reverse flicking, super solid deployment every time. It's just right. It's not too tight. It's not too easy. You can't just shake the blade out. You gotta. I guess I can't. But the way they've chamfered this blade, you can see up there that 45-degree chamfer that runs all the way around on both sides. Makes it super comfortable to reverse flick. Some knives, you reverse flick them for a few days and your fingers sore. Let me guys show you on the crawler here. You see it's a little bit sharper of a chamfer in there. It's not as noticeable, but it makes the inside of that edge a little sharper. This one, you can kind of see it more, but super comfortable for reverse flicking. No issues there at all. Overall, I really like this knife. These run $290. You get really good materials, full titanium bolster lock with the carbon fiber scales, 20 CV blade, titanium hardware, titanium backspacer. Everything's there, guys. I like the shape. Now, the ergos on this knife are really good as well. Wear 2XL glove, big meaty claws here, and even under the choil, I can get a 4-finger grip. I'll show you right-handed too. I can get 4 fingers on there comfortably. Do some good push cuts there. Now you get a very generous finger choil. You can choke up with no worries at all. And with this blade shape here, your thumb just falls right into place on that little notch. And it's just really comfortable. You can also put your finger there in a pinch grip to do some precision cutting. Can't talk today, undoubtedly. To do some precision cutting. And I just really, really like it. I've carried this probably half the day since I got it. Out of all my knives, I really, really love this thing. It carries great. This wire clip, fantastic in and out of pocket. Super smooth. Everything is chamfered well. You can see the spine of the blade there. Just you know, they knocked all the sharp edges down, and it's really comfortable in hand. Even though it's got a flat scale that's not contoured, the ergos are really good, and there's nothing on this knife that's sharp. Yeah, I really dig it. If I get the chance to buy another version, I probably will. And I also, as soon as I get the chance to buy a Divo Knives Buzz, I'm absolutely going to pick one up. That's another one of his designs. That one was done by Colin, I believe. They've also got a Divo Knives Mash I'm really digging. And even the Growler, their budget offering. I really like the look of that knife. But anyways, yeah, fantastic knife. Now let's talk about what it comes with, guys. Kevin's wild for this. So not only do you get a whole nother pocket clip, you get an extra pocket clip. Who does that? Oh no, my camera. Look at all this stuff, guys. I'm gonna dump this out so we can see. You get a full sterile pivot. Now, I did have the issue my pivot did not fit. I could make it fit, but I'm not going to use it, so it doesn't matter to me. You get a whole lock bar insert. Look at that, with a whole nother detent ball. So maybe if your detent wasn't right, you could try this one. Change your detent up. It comes with the barrel spacers. Is that a stop pin? Yeah, it comes with a stop pin and an extra barrel spacer. Both extra barrel spacers. What the heck? You get a whole set of bearings, a whole second set of bearings, and pivot washers. You get a whole other set of pivot washers. It's crazy. You get an extra pocket clip screw. Is that another? Yeah, you get 2 extra pocket clip screws. Let's see. Yeah, you get another pivot screw because you get an entire pivot. And then all the other hardware is the same, I believe. Yeah. And you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, which there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, you get a whole extra set. You get everything that comes with this knife except another blade and the scales. That's awesome. Nobody is doing this much. I can really appreciate that. You know, I think the pricing on the knife's about right. Maybe $250, but I hate when people say, well, this knife was $290. If it was $270, I'd be all over it. It's like, it's $20, man. Shut up and buy it. That's kind of how I am. You know, it was $290. Maybe if it was $250, but if any knife was cheaper, I'd like it more. I think at $290, that's a fair price. You're getting the materials. QSP's a pretty good OEM. I think he went with Best Tech with his with the Divo Knives Buzz. So that's why I'm definitely going to hop on board with those. If you guys don't know, Best Tech does the Vero engineering knives. They also did this crawler. But anyways, that is the Divo Knives Buzz. If you guys get a chance, absolutely recommend one. Pick one up, support a fellow YouTuber, and get yourself a fantastic knife. Now, channel talk for a minute. I've got a few reviews to do. I've got this knife here. This is the Tempest Knives Pinion, a budget knife, also by a YouTuber, by the Knives Fast channel. Fantastic little budget knife. You hear that noise there. Super fidgety. Great action still. These are made by Kubi. Obviously, I've got this Spartan Harsey review to do. I just got this thing in, and what a beauty. Oh, yes. I actually dropped this out of my truck earlier, and I can't find a scuff on it. I think it's a tank, you know. Big knife. Really like it. And then I've also got my MIDI Marauder review to do. So I got my Medford and Fraction review out. I need to get this review out. It's a sweet little knife. But that's what I got coming up, guys. I'm working on actually selling my Curtis Customs F3 medium. I just can't left-hand reverse flick it very well. I kind of got to get this weird grip on it. And then when I, get on the lock bar at all, I can't do it. Just don't love it. It's a cool knife, and it's a nice knife. Just, it's one of those I just didn't end up loving. So I'm going to move it along and pick something else up real quick. One last thing. Do the sharpness test. And this thing is screaming sharp. That's another thing I will give QSP. My Nimble came screaming sharp too. So 0 issues there. Fantastic little knife. I appreciate you guys watching. Feel free to subscribe and watch some of my other videos. Got new knife videos coming weekly. Check those out and have yourself a great day.